Vlogmas day 9. We're back on the 9430. We have to put the charge air cooler back on. And we have to, there's a little bracket that we have to put back on. Change the dryer, which the dryer is right here. So we have to change the dryer. We have to charge the AC, replace this door seal and that shock right there. And then we got to refill, we have to reseal the front cover, which is probably going to take a few hours. Got the dryer replaced, got the door seal done and the shock done, and I have the AC vacuum down. It's holding pressure. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. I just use this thing from Harbor Freight because I want to get the Milwaukee one, but it's like $500, so this works just fine. And I don't have to run the extension cord and run the generator and all that. So I'm gonna charge the AC and then we'll start on this front cover. Okay, just looking up here, the charge amount, it's 4 pounds. So let's get the scale set up and let's charge this machine and then work on the front cover. Okay, so it's sat about, I'd say probably 30 minutes. It's still at 20, so it's holding. So let's get this charged up and then we'll work on the next thing. This is the way I've always done it. This way, some people say it's wrong, but I was always taught to charge it from the vapor side, which is with the valve up. So then we gotta set this here. So we gotta do charge. It's set to 4 pounds, charge. Let's see, enter. Good. Okay, so now we just charge it up. That took forever. It's so cold out here. You can see the tank's even frosty. But the good news is we have no leaks on our cooler. It charged up, so we're gonna clean up all the AC stuff and we're gonna start on that front cover. First thing we have to do is relieve the belt tension. So first thing you do, you come in the center articulation, and then there's a valve right up here. I've shown this before. See that valve? It says bleed on it, but you probably can't see it. And then there's a nut, and you just break that nut loose and you spin that valve out, and then it'll relieve the pressure. And then you just stick a pry bar in here and you open the shiv up, open the bottom shiv, and then you can get the belt off. So I got it off there. Just in case you're wondering, those covers are really heavy. And then it's just got it's a gasket, but it's like a molded O-ring basically is what it is. Just got to clean it up and then retorque everything. So what takes the longest is taking the fan drive and all that. All right, so we got it back on. These bolts here are 50 foot-pounds. So a few things here. So these can be kind of a pain in the butt to get in, just because you got to kind of compress this side just a little bit to get the bolt started. Also, it can trick you and you could think the bolts are started and you let go and then the shiv hits the radiator. I wouldn't know anything about that, but I've heard that happening. And then on the newer style, which this is the newer style, you don't have to worry about lining these up because they're individually balanced. On the older style, which most of the older style ones get replaced anyway, it's balanced as a unit, so it'll spin off center. But on the newer ones, you don't have to worry about that because they're individually balanced. And then these bolts here torque to 96 foot-pounds. Also, I forgot to mention, when you tighten these, you got to make sure you spin it a bunch of times before you tighten them all the way, because you can actually pinch the belt between the shivs, and then when you start it, it'll make a big old giant mess. So I just spin it a bunch of times to make sure the belt's not pinched before I torque them. This 9430 is all done. I just got to clean up all these tools, I'm going to hopefully go back to the shop because that old cooler leaked, so I got hydraulic oil that I got to wash out.